was going to say, if I can't hear me. Good. You can see us all. Can hear me. Hmm? Cool beans. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for coming out tonight on this gloomy, sticky, hot day. We'll start a panel today. We are talking about transforming trauma into art, impact, and purpose. We have Akio Evans, Dre, Janaya, and Zidell. And we're going to dive into how art has long been a vessel for healing, transformative work, but also kind of just being, and really diving through how we navigate through that, how we're still navigating through that, and how we can help you navigate through that. A little bit about this project and myself. My name is Jasmine Washington, and I am the creative behind the First of Many series. First of Many series was created to really just give artists and creatives here a space to be. Being from Baltimore, we get such a bad rep here as a city for things that are really out of our control. So I really wanted to shine light on just a slew of the amazing artists that are here, that have a story to tell, that need to be told. But really just providing a safe space and a platform for them to just be outside of their work, but also in addition to their work, but also connecting people together that might not have connected or might not have known that they needed to connect. So this is kind of what we're doing today, and these are some of the artists, and some are in the audience as well that are a part of this collective. So we'll go ahead and dive in with some introductions on who we have here today. So tell us who you are and a little bit about what you do. We'll start with Dre.
Hi everybody, my name is Seidel. I am from the home of the world's fastest woman. We have Olympic gold to prove it, and if you're not sure, that would be St. Lucia in the Caribbean. I am the founder of Rebel with a Cause. The colors that I wear are synonymous with my flag, so no matter where I go, it's always blue, yellow, black, and white. Rebel with a Cause started because I am a child of domestic violence, and it was kind of challenging being a young child, not knowing why a parent shouldn't just get up and leave when things were not going as they should. I have a career in the beauty industry, so we always have a tendency to be somebody's therapist. People sit in your chair or they're buying a fragrance and you get to hear their whole life story, more than you would like to know. So for me, that allowed me to create Rebel with a Cause because I believe there's beauty in scars. It gives people an opportunity to know who they are, to figure out who they are, but also be validated in their experiences. So this is where we are right. This is where we are at right now. It's not a last resort, but it's the beginning of something beautiful.
Hey everybody, my name is Akio Evans. I'm from East Baltimore. I'm from here, and I'm founder of Akio's Glorious Heroes, and now it's Hearts and Heroes Studios because I like to do workshops to teach everybody, for old and young, that anybody can create from scratch. I always look at as if I had any conversations with you guys, I always admire outfits because I come from humble beginnings where I didn't have the up-to-date clothes, and I was always raised to wear as though you're supposed to use what you have, and not having that actually was my superpower. Like growing up in a single parent home, my mother, she was just like, all right, look, if you don't have it, we'll create something. In that imagination as a kid, I never thought that being cracked on wearing hand-me-downs of Timbs, then Timberland will be reaching out to me years later to do a workshop to give the same kids that came from my community an opportunity to be able to have their own shoes, or the shoes that I didn't necessarily have, those same shoes I'm actually making for entertainers or, production studios like Marvel and so on and so forth. So I'm just humbled and grateful to be able to use my gift. And as we're going to discuss today about how in those hardships, many of us are always going through it because that's life. You know what I mean? We're human. And how we've endured those hardships, and I'm just grateful to share that story with you today. One of the things I will say before I pass the mic is that, because I love what you said about your mission. My mother, she died of a heart attack, right? So she was a seamstress, So everything that I do, I put on the left side as it commemorates my mother. The last two letters in heart is art. So Glorious Heroes, it represents like keeping people safe. So if you see me, you might see me wearing safety pins. It's not that I'm trying to poke your eye out or anything like that, right? It's just simply that heroes save people, or the art or whatever you actually dive into. It can be the connection to be able to keep you and sustain you when no why is there. Because some people have a why, like your mother or your father, but when people pass away, sometimes we get lost. You get what I'm saying? Or sometimes, as you know, entertainers, they might kill themselves because nobody is there when they on that high top, on that high horse. So anyway, I hope that this conversation, see, I'm a yapper, so y'all gonna have to, anytime I'm yapping, just, do you know how everybody do that? Just do that, and I wrap it up, you know what I mean? But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to project because I forget this is not like a speaker. My name is Janaya Koom. I am a multi-medium artist. I moved here to Baltimore 2 years ago for grad school, so I'm a current candidate at MICA, graduated this May. I'm a painter, photographer, budding filmmaker, some would say, amongst other things. And I do art because it's intrinsically a part of me. It's like a rib that I can't not ignore, like a broken rib almost, that you kind of have to always tend to, sort of thing. I don't know what to say. I feel like we did this so good the last time, but I guess I could share a bit of my practice. So I make paintings right now using a vessel of myself. So I do a lot of self-portraits. And I never refer to her as me, so it gives me a bit of distance to project her into situations and scenarios that I can't personally bear in person in real life. And so that's my practice is a deep practice of mourning. Some would say probably that's a way of disassociating, but I like to think it gets everything out. Photography outside of painting is something that I did a lot before coming here. I think for me, photography is a medium that's for myself. It was the first medium that I think was inherited from my family, from them being a first generation Caribbean family coming in from Guyana, Jamaica. They were a part of that wave of the generation that was sold the white picket fence, better life in America sort of thing. And so being the first American child of my family, I was the Kodak kid. So every video camera, every camera was in front of my face, and I think that's how I got into art. And now, ironically, it's the one thing that keeps me focused on memory, mourning, remembrance, healing, all these things. So that's a little bit of me.
Hey guys, I'm Dre, or Shandria, Shandula. So with that being said, I am the founder and owner of Mpenzi Tunde Holistic Care, which is, it started as my doula practice. I've been a doula for 10 years now. I'm sorry, and then it's blossomed into a holistic care practice simply because as I've ventured into whatever my story is unfolding, I started to pick up all these other skills and tools that would help me with getting to healing and deep-rooted issues. And so I'm born and raised Baltimore, West Baltimore to be specific. And through that journey, I am the product of what people would call the typical West Baltimore story, 2 addict parents that were filled with wonder and art and capability, and just like Akio said, having to get it out the mud and just, use your resources and your tools. And so I think growing up in that, I've been able to take those things and build them into what I've built now for myself. And so I practice as a full spectrum doula. I've been practicing as a solo entrepreneur, full spectrum doula for a long time, with a heavy base in special education and ABA work. So I think caring for people has always been my thing. It's always been my form of art. And so many of my friends will tell you, in holistic care, there are different mediums that I use, and that is my form of art. So storytelling. So I like to write, and all these things I'm self-taught. So when people see me, a lot of the times they either see me because I've then started to share my photography journey, and all the exhibits that I've been blessed as a first-time artist to be a part of and to show with the world. But I tell people, like, I'm not necessarily a photographer, I just take photos. And so with that being said, I do newborn photography.